Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. So today we're diving into something that literally every property manager dreads, the dreaded 3 a.m. emergency plumbing call. It's something very few of us truly prepare for, multi-unit drain issues. We're going to explore why a clogged pipe in an apartment building is almost never just a simple plumbing problem. It's actually this huge interconnected ecosystem where one tiny glitch can trigger a massive headache if you aren't ready for it.
Okay, let's just jump right into our roadmap for today. We're going to turn that chaotic plumbing crisis into a fully manageable system. We'll be looking at the shared system cascade, tracking early warning signs, how to contain and document issues, managing your tenants and professionals, and we'll wrap up with proactive preventative maintenance.
All right, part one, the shared system cascade.
To really wrap our heads around multi-unit plumbing, we've got to completely shift our mindset. In a standard single-family home, a clog is just, well, an isolated issue. It affects exactly one resident. You plunge it, maybe snake it, and boom, you're done. But in a multi-unit property, we are looking at a shared system failure. A clog might start in Unit 3B, but because it's sitting on a shared main stack or downstream line, suddenly the folks in 2B and 1B are dealing with a total nightmare, even though they did absolutely nothing wrong. This brings us to what's known as cascade risk. Basically, when wastewater can't flow freely, it backs up into totally unintended areas, cranking up the line pressure and causing prolonged moisture damage to finishes, subfloors, you name it, even electrical components. I mean, water is relentless. It will find somewhere to go. If it can't go down the pipe, it cascades right out into the drywall, the floors, and the adjacent units. That is exactly why we've got to treat this with absolute urgency. Moving right along to part two, tracking early warning signs. So how do we play detective and stop this before the cascade even starts? Keep your eyes peeled for these red flags. We're talking slow drains, recurring clogs across multiple units, weird gurgling sounds from the fixtures, persistent odors in the kitchen or bathroom, and definitely watch out for water backing up in tubs or mysterious wet spots in your floor drains. These are literally the whispers of a failing system. You've got to encourage your residents to report these ASAP, because by the time you spot them on a routine walkthrough, it's probably already too late. The absolute key here is to watch for repeated or expanding problems rather than just isolated complaints. Like, if one person has a slow shower drain once, okay, maybe it's just hair. But if units 1A, 2A, and 3A all complain about gurgling sinks in the exact same week, that right there is an expanding problem. That is a massive danger signal screaming for your immediate attention. Which brings us to Section 3, Contain, Assess, and Document. Okay, so the worst happens and the cascade actually starts. You need a commanding 1-2-3 action plan. First, secure the affected area, especially if there's standing water or sewage. Health and safety absolutely have to come first. Second, limit fixture use. Have the tenants living above the blockage stop running their water so the backup doesn't just keep escalating. And third, arrange a professional inspection immediately. Your main goal in this exact moment isn't a permanent fix, it's to contain the beast fast. But listen, your job isn't just stopping the water, it's protecting your asset. You have to document everything. Write down the date and time, the specific units affected, the exact reports from your tenants, take photos of any visible damage or water intrusion, and keep detailed communication logs. This documentation, it's your shield. It's going to protect you during insurance claims, help your contractors bring the right equipment, and honestly, it's a total lifesaver for dispute resolution if multiple tenants start pointing fingers at each other. All right, Section 4, Managing Tenants and Professionals. This is the human element of property management, and honestly, it's where a lot of folks kinda drop the ball. Seriously, ask yourself, are you actually asking the right questions when you hire a plumber? Think about your own process for a second. When there's a backup, are you just frantically calling the cheapest emergency number you can find on Google? Or are you actually vetting them from multifamily expertise? We need a major mindset shift here. When you're vetting a pro, you have to ask how they'll identify the cause, not just how they'll clear the symptom. I mean, if a guy just snakes a drain and leaves, you haven't really solved anything. Was it grease buildup, sagging pipes, tree root intrusion? You need to demand a true diagnosis of the root cause, and specifically ask what method they'll use to check those downstream sections. And while the pros are doing their thing, you've got to manage your residents. Keep them in the loop. Provide timely timeline updates so people aren't just sitting in the dark. State your access requirements clearly if you need to enter their unit. Outline any temporary water restrictions, and definitely post building-wide notices for shared issues. Trust me, a little transparency goes such a long way in reducing the chaos and keeping everyone calm.
And finally, we arrive at Section 5, proactive preventative maintenance.
So, how do we avoid this whole headache in the first place? Well, it boils down to a pretty undeniable financial truth. Proactive maintenance is almost always cheaper than repeated emergency responses. Think about it. Middle of the night plumber visits, stacked with drywall repair, water extraction, and furious tenants, that will absolutely nuke your operating budget. Validating the ROI of a proactive strategy is a total no-brainer when you look at the cost of the alternative. To actually put that into practice, start with these tactics. Keep your cleanouts accessible. Seriously, make sure your team can actually get to them without a hassle. Constantly communicate proper disposal rules to your tenants. Schedule routine inspections for lines you know are problematic. And this is a big one. Utilize professional camera inspections. A camera can spot hidden structural damage, separated joints, or sneaky tree roots way before they trigger a massive building-wide backup.
What this really means is abandoning the old clear and forget approach. Clear and forget just gives you temporary relief. It's literally a reactive Band-Aid. What you actually need is diagnostic follow-up. This means identifying the underlying line defects, venting problems, or any structural repairs that need to happen. If backups keep returning to the exact same spot in your building over and over, you can't just keep clearing it. You've got to diagnose it and permanently fix the whole shebang.
So, I'll leave you with this. Are you just treating symptoms, or are you truly protecting your building's system? Multi-unit drain issues do not have to be disasters, as long as you're armed with a structured, proactive strategy. Stop reacting to the cascade, start investigating the root causes, and take total control of your property's plumbing ecosystem. I really hope this explainer gave you a solid, actionable roadmap to follow. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you on the next one.